What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations 2020, Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association, and also I host the only online show in the world for dads and fathers that is sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. It's also co-sponsored by Dad Central, Canada's national fatherhood organization, and as always, I like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. And because of holidays and things like that, and it's summertime, we haven't been doing this as we should, but we are back on gear. And usually the first Tuesday of every month, we hang out with Sid McNairy, and sometimes he brings his posse with him. Today he's hand solo, so to speak, but there have been high demands for his son and his father. So we will get them back, family. Don't worry, we'll get them back. But tonight we got Sid on his own, and looking forward to chatting with him. And let's bring him up. What's going on, Sid?
What's happening, man? How you doing?
Outstanding. It's been too long. We haven't been together for a while, but it's good to have you back. What's been going on in your world?
Oh, a lot. Just, I'm writing my next, it's really 4 books. And yeah, it's I've gotten in this place lately where that creation is just calling, so I'm just letting it flow. I feel like there's something to getting it all out there, and just been now pitching. We just finished. Took me 10 years to write this movie script, so that's up and pitched and ready to roll for a few contests and things like that. And so there's a lot going on, and I'm just trying to keep up with my own self.
Well, already someone is jumping in on the live. Hey, what is up, Joy? Great to see you. Thank you for catching us live. Appreciate it. And definitely contribute and help making this epic conversation a success. Interesting question for you, Sid, before we get right into the steps on the journey to peace. When you don't have the creative juices flowing, what do you do? Because I always see you as a creative, but you're human. Last I checked, do you ever have those moments when you're not on a creative flow? And okay,
no, actually, it's quite the opposite. Like I in my mind, sometimes I'm like, man, I need to slow down, and I'm like, no, because of that. Like I feel that if I were to say to myself anything other than I'm going, I could potentially stop the flow I'm in.
Okay.
Because I would create that. And so you notice I didn't even say it. You know what I'm saying? I said I am going, because if I said something different, that's what would come. So I continually monitor the words that come out of my mouth, the thoughts that come in my mind, because I am directed on the path I want to be on.
Okay. All right. And Joy loved that. She goes, great question. And Joy, hey, if you have any questions, don't let me ask all the questions now. We want you to take part too, your family. So definitely important. How do you know Joy?
I know Joy from a mutual friend of ours named David Fagan, and he puts on this event called JV Top Talent, and it was Pub Con had a book contest recently that I was in, and Joy was an author signing books and things like that, and so we know each other, and we've had many conversations and have started conversations around doing things together. So that's how I know Joy.
Excellent. She also says here, speak the focus.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's a huge thing for me, at least. And, I mean, everybody's doing it. Most people don't know they're doing it. So I feel like what I can say for sure is I didn't always know what I know now, and as soon as I got to a place of really not just understanding, because a lot of people understand the power of their thoughts. Like they could tell you, oh yes, my thoughts are so powerful, they create my reality. But and then they walk out and it's like, okay, you understand that, so you have the knowledge of it, yet they haven't yet brought it inside, which happens with experience. And then there's a third stage that comes into an overstanding. So it's like being out of body and seeing things before they even come close. So often when it comes to creation for me, I'm looking at it from an overstanding. So I'm seeing it way down the road. And then I'm living into the echo of the thoughts I've put out.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't want to get too deep, but that's in my
Hey, no, hey, come on now. I wouldn't. If you're not going deep, I'm going to end the conversation. So stop your noise. I'm going to click the X button at the bottom of my screen if you don't get deep.
Right.
You know,
cool. We'll go deep then.
You know, and I think that's what people, especially are wanting from you and know you and respect and love you about that. You go deep.
All right,
let's
go deep then.
You know, so definitely we're not playing around. So Divine Right says hello, you two from the DC area. Hope it's well. Probably hot in the DMV. Joyce saying Dr. Vibe knows me too, dears. Okay. And Sid, Joyce says you were awesome, Sid, for a PubCon event. All right.
Hey, I appreciate that. And
quantum creating everything we all are. Man, I think Joyce should be on with us. She sounds like she's like, maybe we have to get her on too, Joyce. So you're hit me up. Come on down and join the party. And then she says, haha, and yes. All right. So let's get it. We've already jumped off the diving board, so we're going deep. So today you wanted to talk about steps on the journey to peace. Before we start taking the steps, what is Sid's definition of peace?
Well, my definition of peace is an arrival of harmony from myself to my experiences to the things I don't even know I'm experiencing. And peace is 100% peace. There is no opposite. You're either at peace or you're not. And the last thing I'll say is peace is the foundation and access point to love.
Wonderful. When you say, are many of us like either like in the middle or somewhere in the middle of absolute no peace and having full peace, you think?
Well, you either have peace or you don't. So
do people know that? Do people acknowledge that?
I think most people, and I didn't. I'm not sitting here acting like I was any different.
Right.
And I'm not sure anyone knows that until they get to 100% peace, which means no matter what, are you still at peace? Like when I lost my sight down to 10% eyesight, I was at peace so much that people didn't know I was going through anything. Or like when I'm out surfing and I've been bumped by a shark, and then Liz has to say, hey man, I think we really better. I tell her there's a shark. It just bumped me in the leg. And she's like, oh, I got to get out of here. And I'm sitting there. And she's like, Sid, I think we need to go. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Or just now there was a sick alligator that went from, alligators don't usually go from fresh water to salt water, but this 3-foot alligator decided to go to the ocean a couple days ago. And when I saw it, it was like, I'm still going surfing. Still going surfing. Now he was sick, so that's nice. So they're not migrating yet. I feel, it just is. Like I remember seeing this rattlesnake in Arizona, and it cocked back and, it was coiled up, lifted its head and started shaking its tail. And I just looked at it, backed up and went around it. And then I realized, wait a minute, that sucker could have bit me. Like that's where it's almost mind blowing for me. And, I could sit here and have the thought of, is it safe being this at peace? And I'll say yes, because it attracts peaceful moments. They say a shark in the water attacks a person because it already knows the fear. It feels the fear. So like these guys coming up and bumping my leg, and that's what a shark does. It's surveying with its nose. So they're often going, yet on their way, if they sense fear, mouth's open.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, that's peace is, I've just finally arrived there where it all just feels right.
Okay. Lisa Marie saying peace is heavenly when you're there. Sid, I love you. Lisa Marie.
Hey, hold on. Is that Lisa? Please answer if that is Lisa from back in the day with the Red Rocks. God, how many years ago was that? I have the Red Rocks in here.
She also says to have peace, we must demand peace. It takes a dedication of love. So Lisa Marie, Sid is asking, are you the from so please
Forbes magazine and news?
There you go.
Wow, so good. You please send me a message. I'd love to get in touch and I'll shoot you my phone number. And
there she goes. Red Rocks.
Yes. Are you going to run for president or what?
You're asking Lisa Marie.
Yeah, like, is she going to run for president? Because that was happening at one point, and then people.
Here we go.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I've been looking for somebody to back. All right, we definitely got to talk.
This is what I love, when we can just get community and just people who have like minds and like hearts. I'm not going to put her number out publicly because it'll go on all platforms, but Sid, after we're finished, she gave her phone number on LinkedIn. So I'll make sure you get it.
Awesome.
And look at this. Divine Right. Lisa Marie for president.
Yeah. So
Lisa Marie, yes, still. And then governor now. Whoa. This is a whole different, I need to know about Lisa Marie.
So let me tell you about Lisa Marie.
Sure.
Lisa Marie made this product called Red Rocks. Now, Red Rocks is, like, I'm sure you know about rooibos tea.
Yes.
So rooibos tea, the difference is rooibos tea, most people steep their tea.
Right.
So because of that, you lose a lot of the ingredients, the nutrients, you lose it by steeping it. Okay. So back in the day, Lisa made Red Rocks that made it into a legume, meaning that it was a powder substance that when it was ground, you didn't steep the tea, you actually ate the tea, but you're drinking it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So then that turned it into a way that allowed for it to really go in and cleanse your body. So I used to drink it all the time to detox. And now she is a very powerhouse woman that went at the time when we met. She used to go and live with the homeless people to help them. Like,
wow.
Amazing. Yeah, amazing.
Wow. I need to know more. I'd love to have her on this platform.
So then after that, she realized that the Red Rocks was stopping type 2 diabetes for people. It actually went to like the Red Sox, Cincinnati Reds.
What?
All these different teams. San Diego Chargers, New York Jets. I'm just putting the whole story out here. Now, here's the trick, though. She's such a an awesome person. She wanted to kick the monster in the face. You know, monsters like the big monsters. I'm not even going to say their names because I don't need to be kicked back or bitten back. And so she had to disappear for a while. And that's why I kept some of this stuff for her so that eventually she could come back and get it and go back to the scientists and have them redo it, because she was stopping type 2 diabetes. I mean, you can go look it up in Forbes magazine, and I think, or maybe Newsweek, one of the two. And yeah, she's a special person. So it's good to reconnect, Lisa. And hey, we must be on the same trajectory still, because here we are.
Nice. So just catching up with some comments. Joyce going, how cool is that? Lisa's saying, Sid is my heart mentor. Anna Carter saying, the constant of happiness is achievable. It is the ultimate story of our human, I don't know what, maybe misspelling there. Imagine collective happiness. Love you both, Anna. Lisa saying, he is a visionary. And she also says, Sid knows it hard. You know, God timing is now. And she also says, love you so much. So
yes,
beautiful. Like, this is beautiful. I love it. This is like, we could end it right now, but we got more to talk about. But you know, it's all good. So when you're in peace now, what were some of the steps you have taken or continue to take to have peace?
I mean, it's interesting you asked that, because I've realized in the midst of writing this playbook for peace, I had to pause, and that's why I'm writing 4 books at once, because I had to pause and go back and say, all right, it's time to write my autobiography, which was a beginning shift. Because at first, when I was coaching football, I wanted to write an autobiography because I wanted to tell my story. I wanted to. Then that book disappeared, and that's why I have these 5 books on the wall, because I began coming into a deeper place than, all right, who's Sid? So I had to release that space so that I could look at myself almost in third person, and then grow into the I am that I am. And so that, I think, is a big step, and for me, that has been I've reached 100%, because I am that I am. Regardless of what anybody else thinks, like, no one has to think it. Like, we all have God within us. I had to realize that for myself. So that's one thing. And as I write this book, there's so many. I mean, I'm pretty sure this book will be well over 100,000 words of all the things I remember. Like, now I'm writing it as a fiction so that people can let go of the idea that they need to dispute anything I say, and they can leave it as fiction. I don't really care. Yet, it's kind of like the autobiography of a yogi, except this is the autobiography of a modern monk, so that I can get this story out, because so many people come to me and they think, oh, Sid's here. How long did that take? Well, I've been doing this for over 3 decades, you know, so, and working at it. I mean, it's been over 4 decades since I started meditating. So if someone wants to get here, I'd say one major thing is to let go of the idea that you're going to get there tomorrow. Even though you could, anyone could. How many people I don't know anyone that can just erase their mind right now. Erase it and move on. And because of that, I'd say that that's a major thing, is to be willing to walk the time. You know, every time that they say you go on Vision Quest, and I did all of my Vision Quest. You're supposed to do 4 Vision Quests in a lifetime. I've done them all. For 7 years after that, you still carry the cells that went out with you on Vision Quest. So for 7 years, the cells in your body are fighting to stay around. If I allow it to just happen over 7 years, then there becomes another shift. Now, the first time I went out on Vision Quest, I said, all right, I want to speak, hear, and see and feel from my heart. The next time I went out and I said I wanted to realize God in every way. The third time I went out so that I could bring peace to my family and my community. And that's when I inherited my native name, He Who Brings Peace, Nahi Adonade Nuato Hiadu. And then the fourth time I went out to complete the task. So there was that's 11 years right there. And then add one, because I took 1 year off because my grandma said someone needs to see you without you going out on the mountain. So I had to go sit by myself in silence for 5 days. And they brought me food. That was the difference. I got to eat. So it's just, I can't say exactly what it's going to look like for everybody's journey because everybody's different. And yet I will say that idea of it taking time, what took time for me over 3 decades, really in the grand scheme of things, that's a blip of an eye. The history of man, that's no time at all. Then we go the history of the earth. Mankind has been here for 24 seconds, so that's even less. History of the universe, I don't know when the earth came around compared to the universe. So that is, time is not real, not as we know it. And so that idea of it taking time, to me, this whole idea that people can get it in a pill, can get the magic shift and get it quick, that's a big thing to let go of and just be open to the process and enjoy every step of it. Because on the journey to the end of the process, whatever the process that someone's looking to uncover, on the steps to it, there's a lot to be seen.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just going to parking lot that for a second because the comments are still flying. Lisa Marie said, my phone went off. It was a miracle. And he says, Sid for president. Joyce saying, Lisa Marie just got back from Boise yesterday, wedding with the BS football team. Yes, Sid is a visionary. Joyce saying, we are God, each of us, sparkles of source. Joyce saying, blessings, Lisa Marie, are shifting everything, every moment. Sid, love your journey. And Joyce saying, just the field loves exists. And then Lisa Marie saying, this moment here with all of us together is destiny, absolute. Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I don't know about Sid for president. I'm going to let you take those shots. I'll run with you and see how it goes.
I want to get back to this whole, and I love how you've shared with us and this aspect of journey to peace. What do you feel people are not wanting to take the journey? They want that instant gratification or instant peace. What's holding, in your opinion, people back from wanting to do the journey?
Well, I didn't want peace at first. Like, I thought I did. I said it. I committed to, oh, yes, I'll take on this name and, oh, I'll go through the mission. And then there were little things like, okay, I need to go back to coach football because my son needs better coaching. So I went back to coach football. I called a play and he got his jaw broken. And I still wanted him to play football. So did I want peace or did I want my son to play football? Now, it worked out. He went on and did his thing and went down to college and all those things. Yet I feel, for me, I can't really speak for everybody else. I wanted a whole lot of other things more than I wanted peace. So because of that, anyone that says they want peace, if they don't have peace all the time, you didn't want peace. You chose something else in the moment that you lost peace. Because my dad broke this down for me in my second marriage, because I came home and I used to always go to sleep. It was hectic, to say the least, and it was fun. It was a great time, and it helped teach me peace. But my dad said, hey, son, you always come in here and you sleep. What's up? And I was like, nothing, man. I'm just tired. He's like, nah, there's something up. he said, it takes two to fight and one to have peace. And I was like, what you talking about? I said, it takes two to fight and one to have peace. And if you want peace, no matter what's going on in the house, you'll choose peace. And I went home and she was upset with her son and came storming in the room, and I was meditating. I looked up and I was like, Nah, I choose peace. And I heard this voice say, oh, you choose peace. And I said, yeah, I choose peace. She left and she came back a few minutes later, opened the door. And the voice said, so do you choose me or you choose her this time? I said, I choose peace. I choose you. And 7 days later, half my house was gone. Half my
Wow.
house was packed. Now, in the midst of even that, I thought I was choosing peace, yet I still had something to learn because I still wanted to go try to get her back. That's the chaos that was going on in my head. So I can't say where everybody else is. I just know I was choosing a whole lot of other stuff other than peace. I chose to have a house that was $800,000 and you could park all these cars at it. And we had a pool and a basketball court. We had to freaking dig up vines and stuff to keep the ivy from growing everywhere. I was choosing those things more than I'd wanted peace. I just
Wow.
happen to be with someone now that it's easy to choose peace. She's peaceful too.
Absolutely. Respect, respect, respect. Joy is saying, Amen. Ahoy. Ahoy. All
Aho.
right. Aho. Sorry. We are Lisa. Lisa must be running for president. We are a country of freedom, but we still are a nation that lacks peace. Ooh, like that. Like that. Like that. And also saying, interesting, many countries have no freedom, but are in full peace. Mm.
That's because their people are choosing peace. Like they choose it. Like we're going to Nicaragua for the surfing and power and peace retreat. And I've been going to Nicaragua since 2012.
Okay.
It's amazing how peaceful they are. And you're talking people that you drive far enough into the hills, they don't even have electricity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The peace that they have. The peace that might have.
I mean,
Joyce.
part of that is that they have basic needs. They may be wearing like Steph Curry's rookie year jersey. You can go pick it up for like $5 at the shop. Shopping,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah, so they got clothes on their back. They have roofs, even though they might not look like our houses. They have roofs over their head. You don't go to, I can't remember seeing a single homeless person. So then you have that. Then they have chickens walking down the street because no one has taken over the chicken reign. And so now if you grab a chicken, that's your chicken. You need to eat the chicken, you can eat the chicken. There's cows walking down the street. You can eat the cow. If you need transportation, if you can run down a horse and you tie it up to a tree, no one else steals the tree or steals the horse, nor the tree, but they don't steal the horse because it's yours now. And you can go ride that horse anytime you want. You can walk down to the ocean and catch fish, and their fish is plentiful. Like it's so plentiful. I went out in the water and I had at least a couple thousand fish that swam up my shorts. I was like, what the? They were all over me. And so you can go down to the ocean and get fish. They can eat healthily, like healthy food for themselves. They can eat. So the things that we are calling peaceful and a way of being here, I'm not sure that's the case. Yeah. At the same time, I do love a lot of things about this country. I don't think it's not the system. It's the way we humans are using the system. And a lot of it has to do with us not caring about each other.
Other. Yeah. Good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Joy is saying, oh my goodness, Liz is a goddess of peace. And also in regards to people you're speaking about in Nicaragua, saying they know their hearts. And they are connected to God, creator, and the planet. And Lisa Marie is saying, yes, hit the nail on the on the, it should be head yet. It's a personal choice. Sid is a chosen being he chose. Sid is peace. I can hear it in his voice. Heart stopping. Thank you, sis, for your brave heart. You are love, Sid. Michaela
Wow.
Smith saying believers. And Lisa saying your writings will bring this world together.
Yeah, I can't
Wonderful.
wait to get on this phone call with her. That's for sure. And yeah, to hear what she's up to, so I can support it because it's.
I'm so excited to hear what goes on in that phone call. There's going to be a yada laughing and yelling on that phone call. Like I feel it. I feel it. Sid, how has the different parts of your journey created the foundation of the peace that you have today? The yoga part, the coaching football part, the mentor part. You have a number of different spheres. How have those helped your foundation for your peace?
Well, for me, I feel that experiences. I mean, I started playing sports at 7, so experience of how to be at peace when you lose, experience of how to behave when you win, experience of being hurt and still going anyway. There's a difference between pain and injury. Like all the experiences that I got to experience through sports that only would have happened in sports. If I had just gone to school and I had read a book and been, I commend people that are smart. I'm not taking anything away from them. If I had just been in that space, for me, I wouldn't have been able to get it. I really, because I'm going to say this, if God could give us everything through a book, God would never have had to send those people that believe he sent his only son. Well, all of us are sons and daughters. So either way, whatever, I'm not going to get down that. But he sent his son, sent Muhammad, sent Buddha, sent all these. If he only needed to be in a book, the Bible is here. Don't need to send it. Don't need to send anybody anymore. And yet we're still not a world at peace. And that's the number one book sold in the world is the Bible. 5 billion copies.
Yep.
Right? It's all over the place. If we could get it from a book, that's almost a Bible for every person in the world. Somebody has to go do it. And that for me, I committed to that. I committed to, and and I didn't at the time know what I was committing to. I'm just been a yes person. Like, yeah, you want me to? All right, cool. You want me to go surf a 35-foot wave? All right, I'll give it a go. That looks too big. Not today. But yet my heart said yes.
Right.
And then my mind says something different sometimes. But my heart's like, yeah, we got this. Now, this time I feel good. Like, I feel like, nah, I'm good. I feel like no matter what, I've gotten to this place that put me on a bigger wave and put me in the challenge of that bigger wave. I show up. And because I've gotten to this place of fluidity in my way of being. Like the other day we were surfing and these kids were playing and it was too late. I already caught the wave. I'm coming. I'm coming. Normally I stay pretty straight on a wave. Like I get out front of the whitewash. Well, this time I had no choice because I'm like, Liz, my next evolution, now that I'm standing on all of my surfboards, my next evolution is that I turn down and ride the face of the wave. Well, these kids are there. So I either take this torpedo that's coming and ram a kid, or I got to learn to turn right now. So because of that, I've gotten to this place now where I feel like everything just happens. And the more I'm at peace, the more I just move with it. Like it's just natural. So what has happened, and back to your question, like this is open for me because I've done so many things. I've sung on stages, I've painted, I've done art, I've coached kids, I've coached adults, I've traveled the world. I've done so much that I have more access to me than I would have if I had just stayed in the lane of being a football coach. And it's great that people stay in those lanes. I'm just saying, for the person I committed to being, I couldn't have done it with just one lane.
Nice. Nice. Joyce saying, great questions, Dr. Vibe. Well, I've done over 3,000 of these things, so once in a while I get a good question going on. Mikkel says, Marilyn still loves you, Sid.
I hope so, because I'm coming to see Marilyn soon enough, so that's a good thing.
Beautiful. And we always love getting questions from our family, our audience, and Divine Right has a few. And this question, that's it, two questions for you. What if your loved one wants peace but keeps unpeaceful people around just because of how long they've known them or have done for them? And then also, how can you guide them to purge along their journey to peace?
Well, I'll say that everybody has their journey, and I respect everybody's journey. So when I'm working with people that, I have a bunch of people that have been coming to me for a quest for peace, which is a program that I do with people to walk them through to finding their own peace. And everybody, they have to choose it, for one. So if someone wants peace, if you have peace, if I have peace, people come and ask, how did you get there, when they really want it and they can see it. So first and foremost for me is to be what I want to give to someone else, so that when they see it, it's like, oh, wait a minute. His yoga studio was on fire and he came outside and made sure we were all safe and took us to the park to practice anyway. And from there, I remember doing that. And then I used to go to this massage therapist, Jerry Lynn, one of the best massage. Actually, I rarely go get a massage because I'm like, I want to go find Jerry Lynn. And so Jerry Lynn used to bring me in to get a massage, and I would be like, okay, how much is it again? What's your rates now? And she'd say something, and she'd say, yeah, but just give me half of that. And I'd be like, all right. At first it was like, this is great. And then eventually I started feeling guilty. Like, hold up, Jerry Lynn. Why are you always giving me half price? Are you doing this for everybody? Because this isn't fair for all these other people.
Right.
And she was like, well, I have you come because I watched you handle that fire, and I had to figure out why were you like this? So she's like, I work on you because I get to see, like, she literally took my ankle, my fused ankle, and she has great strong hands, and broke it back open.
Wow.
With her fingers. And I would sit there and fall asleep as she was doing this. And she'd be like, I don't know how you're falling asleep. That makes no sense. And I'd be like, well, I just accepted what you're doing is good for me and I'm good. She's like, but you're not really asleep, because I'll say do something and you respond, yet I'm hurting. I know this hurts and you're still just there. And so that's back to the question at hand of what would I do with someone that I love that knows there's people they could purge. Well, first I have to look at myself and say, all right, how am I mirroring this for this person? Am I holding on to people in my life that maybe I could let go of? And that letting go doesn't always mean that I have to, say, hey, time out. You no longer are allowed around me. It may look like, hey, I'm just going to move a little differently until this person shifts, because we can't really separate from anyone. From me to the furthest person listening to this, there's a direct line of atoms that touch both of us. Can't separate from anything or anyone on this planet, in this universe, and beyond. We are all one part of it. So if I want something to be different in the world, I figure out where I am part of the trigger, or can I be a bigger solution?
Okay. Divine Right, I hope that answered your questions. If you want to add on more, we will take them big time. Lisa Marie says there will be peace on earth only if we demand peace within, as Sid proves by his actions. Sid in his past life was peace. He is now fully awake. There is no stopping when we are peace. Jeanette
Yes.
King says your diverse experiences, Sid, have enriched you.
Yes, they have. Jeanette is an amazing person, and it's been great to be with her on her journey as she comes all the way fully to the other side of what she's moving. So it's beautiful.
And she's saying we are definitely all one, Sid. And Divine Right says, wow, thank you, Sid. Nice.
Yeah,
Nice. That's beautiful. That I love when people get transformations. You know, that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. Let's continue on for a few more minutes because I know you probably always got something to go to. So I don't want to take up your time. Some clubhouse thing, or
outside and see if I can go catch one of these waves.
you see what I mean? You see what I mean? I got you. I got your back. I got your back. Here's a good question. When was, as much as you can remember, when was the last time you were not at peace? If you can remember.
Yeah, I can remember.
And how did you turn it around?
When I wasn't sure how to move from 10% sight to am I going to see again? You know.
Yeah, I remember some of our conversations. We had some back channel conversations, folks, on that. Some very deep conversations.
And how did I turn it was, you know what was amazing about it? We went to shoot a TV show, Conversations with Sid. And I've been too busy to get the TV show evaluated to get it back to them for way too many months. And I'm at peace with the fact that I haven't looked at it. Yet when we went, Liz had to drive because I couldn't see. Like it was like I was set to choose whether or not to go to surgery. Like we went up on Friday and I was having surgery on Monday. And we went. And I got so at peace with, all right, I'm here. It's time for me to show up. Like, this is what I do. It's time to show up. Like, this is a TV show. I'm showing up. I got people going to film this. I got to be peace right now. So, so in that moment, one, I didn't tell anybody on set that I couldn't see. So when lights, camera, action took place, all of a sudden I could see everything, everybody. And that was kind of a turning point of like, all right, I just need to surrender it. Actually, I can see fine. Because in that moment, that connection happened. And all of a sudden it was like myself, my consciousness could see. And I was so present to the moment that none of that mattered. And then I came back and moved through the rest of the journey. So that space, and there were a lot of moments I had to, you know, I called my dad and just broke down like, hey man, I'm struggling. You know, it was real. Like it was real.
Yeah.
Not able to see. Like, I called my buddy and he was like, hey man, you know what you would tell me? And I'm like, yeah, but I can't hear it. Tell me what I'd say.
I need to hear it.
Right.
Wow.
And he was like, you're already healed, man. You're living into the echo of this. And there may be some things you need to do so that you can keep that, but you're living into the echo of this. And whenever I need to, we go through everything the same. Like he and I, like if I'm going through something, I'm like, hey man, what you going through right now? He's like, man, my foot hurts. I'm like, damn, I know, right? You know, so we have that level of connection because we've done this dance so much together. And so I leaned on people like Joy was one of them. Actually, Joy helped me mentally say, she was like, Sid, you got to let Liz help you. And I was like, yeah, but I also don't want to put this pressure on her. So I leaned on my friends. Like, that was the time that it was shook, man. It was shook. And I made it to the other side. And that's why I'm like, all right, I don't care what you got to put on my plate right now. I'm gonna get it all out just in case you need to take me somewhere else. I'm gonna get it all done so that when I'm done, it's done. When I'm done, I want to make sure that I've done everything I can to make sure this world is at peace for the duration of Earth. When I leave here, like I 100% have spoken this and I'm speaking it into existence 100%. When I am done, the earth will know that peace was found while I was here. And that's everybody that's here with me, because we're all here for a reason. Like, the world will know, the earth will know that in 2022, we started a ricochet effect of peace that never left. That's it for me. Like,
well,
it.
I really have to say how you and I, especially during that time, had some very deep conversations. And I'm glad that you allowed me into your sphere, especially during that part of your journey to peace. So I am forever grateful, and I will never take it for granted. And we had some very emotional conversations at times, and both of us are getting a little bit choked up right now because they were deep, and a good deep. And yeah, we're on to the other side. So that's the most important thing that as I say to a lot of people, even strong people struggle at times.
Man, I had to call my kids and say, hey, I know you're not coming up for Christmas, but I don't know if I'm gonna see you again.
Yeah, it's part of the journey, man.
Yeah, man. It was what I can say really came forward from that was I knew I could see. Like, God had to take my sight so that I could see the beauty of the world.
Yes.
Like, yes. Before I was looking at this stuff and it was like, all right, this is pretty. Well, when I came back in the first, I remember I got my one eye back. And I called Doc and I was like, yo, this thing you put on my eye is itching like crazy. And hey, look, I'll keep my eye closed, but I need to take it off so I can scratch. Like down here, it wasn't even itching in my eye. It was like my skin. And he was like, yeah, man, no problem. Just go ahead and take it off, scratch, put it back on. So I was like, all right, I got it off now. Hold up. I just want to sneak a peek because I can't see. I can't see in this eye. But I want to sneak a peek and see if I can see in this one. And I knew Liz was sitting to my left. I was listening to the TV she was watching. And I looked to my left and I barely could open my eye. And I was just like, snuck a peek and I saw her face and I just started crying. Because there was
take your time.
It was truly, I mean, I knew I was blessed. Like, I knew that I was like, I used to tell people, I'm glad that I got to pick my wife before I lost my sight because I know she's beautiful.
I love it. I love it. Amazing. That is,
when I saw her,
beautiful.
When my eye got that little crack and I got to see her face, no one can ever take that away from me.
Wonderful. And people saying, what is this? What is people saying? What does that have to do with the journey of peace? This is part of the journey. People, you got to realize in order to get through, a lot of times you got to go through.
Yeah, I mean, it was
to go through.
It was
because when you achieve that peace, you can say, look where I came from and I fought to get it. Sorry, Sid, I just had to get that out there. My apologies.
I appreciate it. That's the difference. That's why I'm writing this autobiography now, because people need to know what a 4-decade journey looks like to get here. It wasn't some I read a book and now I can talk about it. Nah, you got to go be about it. You got to go be about this. Like,
so Joyce saying, yes, darling. Jeanette saying, I like that quote. You are living in the echo of this. Joyce saying, you are the warrior monk, dear Sid. Blessings for your essence. Jeanette, love the authenticity of you too. And you know, it's funny, from the first time Sid and I got on Clubhouse together, there was something that said, you know what, this just ain't going to be a Clubhouse thing, and we continue it on. Joyce saying, transformation is always. Divine Right saying, thank you for this conversation. Always an awakening when listening to you speak about your journey to peace. Whoa, I love that. I love that. I love that. Because family peace, a lot of times don't come easy. You know, and I think
it's sweet when you get it.
You better believe that, my brother. Like I hallelujah when you get there. But then the next part is holding on to it and maintaining it.
Well, really, you know, what I've come into the last couple of days is, once you have it, you've got to be willing to let it go, or you don't actually have peace, because you're in those moments where it was like, all right, I have peace, I got to keep it. It's going, because it's gonna, you know, there's still moments, and I just choose peace. Like, lights come on in my car. They still come on in my car. My car still says, hey man, I need some maintenance. and I used to be like, oh, like take a deep breath, breathe, because a Mercedes can cost a lot. Uh-oh, what's going to happen? And every time I've gotten more at peace, it just gets easier and easier. Like Liz's car, I was like, you know, we got to get this light off on your car. Like, all my lights are off now. I took my car in, got it serviced, whatever. We got to get this light off your car. And I was like, all right, they already replaced the engine in her car.
Oh,
completely. Like, now it was a recall. So I was like, all right, one of those lights that we've been struggling to get off. Right now, I'm going to say that, you know, it's going to be recall. So I said 2019 recall for tire pressure gauge. Pull it up, 2018 to 2021 recall on her car, tire pressure gauge. Like, I am at peace with seeing how I am creating this reality. We all are. We want wars to stop. We don't have to fight the wars. Start finding peace.
I like that.
There's been an increase of the use of Google. There's more people on the internet. People use Google. It helps bring a lot of peace into the world. I use Google anytime there's a debate. If it does, hold up, let's just Google it. So we don't even have to go there. Let's get to the truth and move on. So there's 8.9% increase in the last year, people from the year before, people searching for anxiety. 8.9% increase. Seems like a big number. There is 3,500% increase on people searching for peace over the last year. 3,500%. That's 350 times more people searching for peace than they are for anxiety. People know anxiety. They don't have to search for it. They don't know peace. They're searching for it. That's why I'm writing this book. That's why I'm making sure that all of the steps get out there, because I'm at peace with it, all of it. And so it's time for us to do that. you know, it's time for us to walk into peace. And I've committed to being that person to keep walking. There's other people that have committed to. I just know if they didn't get all the way there, I'm still there. I'm going to hold it. I'm going to get finished. I'm going to finish this one. God willing, which it is, I'm finishing this
one. Nice. Well, any final words you have for us? Because I think this conversation went to a whole other, and well, we know we're going to go deep, but we went down deep, nice level on this. Anything you'd like to leave our family with, or your family with, our communities with, in regards to steps on the journey to peace?
Yeah, I would say make the commitment right now. If you're hearing this, commit to peace. Commit to peace is what my grandmom said to me. Commit to peace. Now, don't try, go have it for 24 hours. And if you don't have it for 24 hours, do it again. After that, commit to it for a week. And if you miss in the week, it's okay. Do it again. Once you have made it a week, go commit to it for a month. Go commit to it for a year. Go make it your life. Because everybody needs us all to step into that. The next 7 generations are counting on us to step into that so that we can leave the world in a better place. We borrowed it from them. It's not ours to keep. Right. Every one of them to come, we borrowed this world from. So let's leave it in a better place.
Great close. What's up next for Sid?
Well, we've got a lot of things. One, we've got a Quest for Peace for men starting July 27th. Quest for Peace for women starting.
Well, hold on. Hold on. For men, what's going on here? See, okay, we got to talk offline about that, because I'm going to go deep on. Okay, so we'll talk about offline. You got me on that one. I need to know more about that one, big time.
Awesome. Yeah. So I mean, people can go to artofpeacefulliving.com to tap into that, and then we've got the trip to Nicaragua. I mean, it's 4 days. The Reunite Power and Peace Retreat. You can find it at the powerandpeaceretreat.com, or everything's housed on artofpeacefulliving.com. You can go to the playbook for peace and get bits and pieces as I bring this book forward. I'll continue to just put it out there for people to have it. Like, it's a book. I just want it out there. Like, I'm not even sure how's it going to work. There's publishers asking for it, and I want people to just have it. So it's got to hit right. So I'm excited for it. Yeah.
So Divine Right says, can't wait for the book to come out too. And she says she has been to Nicaragua. They're absolutely beautiful places there.
Yes.
Wonderful. Absolutely. So family, another epic conversation. Hope you caught it live, or you at least catch it on the replay. And we've had it all throughout the conversation where you can get in contact with Sid. Sid, as always, an absolute pleasure having you on, sharing. We have amazing conversations, whether they're live or off. I always come out of the conversations better with you or with the other Sids. I always come out better. And we'll do it offline, but I have one of my interns that are doing clips for social media. And I don't know if you remember, but the first time we had your dad on and your son, I asked your dad, I think I asked him a question, is he online? And he said, no, I'm a troll. And I said, and my intern has that clip, and I have to show it to you and your son, your dad. Absolutely hilarious, because I'm going to put it up on social media. I mean, I'm still losing it after watching it earlier today. I just lost. I said, when Pops and I get on a conversation, the first thing I say, Pops, I got something to show you. And he goes, where'd you get that? I can see that coming. Where you get that? So again, a pleasure, an honor to be part of your tribe. And Joy is saying, Mahalo, Dr. Vibe is thank you. Thank you so much. And if you want to get in touch with this guy, I don't know why you want to get in touch with Sid. Don't get in touch with me. Here's all the contact information where you can get a hold of me. As always, I'd like to, we're usually on the first Tuesday of each month, but with the holiday and last week and all, we mixed up a bit, but we can get back on a regular schedule. And as always, I like to say, live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get smaller to get stronger. Block assumptions, then aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Remember to give yourselves grace, and don't just manage your time, manage your energy. And finally, a tree without roots is a block of wood. See you, folks.